now I'm going to show you how to get into QuickBooks. I can send you a link, but I have an icon, so we're just going to click on that. My memorized username and password, I sign in, and then you're going to see you have the option of choosing a company. Now, PCI West, don't worry about that. That is actually Ruth Lehman's company. I do some work for her. So you have Community Lutheran Church or you have Saddleback Children's Center. And you'll be sent an invitation to each of these companies. We keep them separate. There's certain things that match between the two, but we keep them separate for one reason. The preschool just has their own, totally their own expense items, and we want to be able to monitor those in more detail on that company. But the average user of the church doesn't really care whether we bought curriculum items versus disposable supplies. They just want to see the total numbers. So that's one reason we keep them separate. The other is that the church operates on a calendar year basis, but the school operates September 1st through August 31st, basically a full school year. So in this case, we're going to work with that same Intellicorp bill that we saw previously. So I'm going to click on Community Lutheran Church. And now I am in. This new up here is going to be used very often because you can select what you want to do. So in this case, it's a bill. So I'm going to enter it, new, bill. You're going to enter the vendor name, Intellicorp. A lot of times things will self-populate. The bill date, 12/31. Bill number, 1238007. This is the correct account, volunteer screening, even though we do it on employees as well. In this case, there was just one background check and we did not do the driving record. So I'm going to just edit that. And then the cost, $18.55. I enter that in, that's the total. Now down here where you see attachments, this is where we're going to attach the copy of the bill that we downloaded previously. So you click on that, and then you're going to go to CLC. Remember, we put it in the 2022 folder, Intellicorp, open. It downloads. Once you've got that downloaded, you can save and close or save and new. So we're just going to save and close it. And now I'm going to do the payment. I don't yet know the exact day that it will come out, but I do know that this particular vendor is set up so that the payments will come out of the checking account. I used a debit card versus my credit card, mostly because I didn't have a credit card when we set up Intellicorp. So I'm going to go ahead and pay the bill so that it's recorded. So pay bill. You see there's an all green landscaping bill in there. Well, we're not going to pay that just yet. We're going to pay the Intellicorp. Payment date, today's date is fine. It will come out very soon. Because I've used this as the payment date, that will be the date that this bill payment is entered. It won't enter it on 12/31, which was the bill date, because we're a cash-based company. $18.55 the total. Now, we don't want it to pay from my credit card, so we're going to change the payment method to the main checking account. We're not going to print a check, so I'm just going to enter debit. That's fine for our purposes. If I were going to write a manual check, I would enter the check number, or if I were going to print it later, I would do this and see it would say to print. Okay, so Intellicorp, today's date, debit, it's going to the main checking account. Be really careful with that. And then I'm just going to say Save and close. Okay, so that has now been paid. If I were to go under expenditures here on the left and chose vendors, there are all the different vendors. Now I'm going to search for Intellicorp. Okay, I saw it. There it is. So here is the bill payment coming out. Nothing is due. But let's go into the bill. So here it is. And you see, here's where we downloaded that bill. So I'm going to open that up. And there it is. So you can always go and look at the bill. This can be really handy if you're just trying to get some information. You're not digging through the files. In my case, I keep the current year's bills and deposit, all the paperwork here in my house filed by month. But if it's like the next year and I need to look back at something, it's going to be at the church. For you, that might not be too bad. You can drive over there. But for me, that'd be really difficult. And that would mean I'd have to get somebody to go into the file for me and pull it. It just makes it so much easier, even if you are right there, that you don't have to drive over and dig through the files. So that is how you get a bill payment entered.